Hi there, it's Simon from Sterling Coaching and just recording this quick introduction video on Monday as we've just driven back from a long weekend in the Cotswolds, and lots of lessons learned, as you'd expect, from living life over the weekend, in particular from a walk that we had, from the heat that we're experiencing here in the UK at the moment, from the dogs that are now barking, the wasps that are about, and the bees that are working hard as well. See you in a moment. Hi everyone, and welcome back to this part of the broadcast, which is actually going out on Tuesday, as I didn't want to spoil my full weekend away by working too much on this during Monday, which was my day of holiday, and I've waited today until I want to put this together for you. So we went to the Cotswolds, and when we went there, we went with a particular mission set by my wife, Angela, and that mission was to visit the Farmer's Dog. So the Farmer's Dog is the pub that has been brought to life by Jeremy Clarkson and has been part of the recent series of Clarkson's Farm on Amazon. And Angela said, when we get to the Cotswolds, even though it's a 40-minute journey, we've got to go and visit this pub. Now, we knew it was going to be busy, but this pub, just like the dogs, the bees, what it did do, it showed great productivity despite all odds, but with some advantages. Now, you can't look at the Farmer's Dog, you can't watch the series and not appreciate that the effect that Jeremy Clarkson has is on bringing a crowd, on bringing fans to whatever venture that he's going to undertake. But what you have to remember is this pub has now been open for about 9 months, I want to say. So it's really important that we think about how long it's lasted and how busy it still is. And of course, it's had a resurgence because of the release of the latest series on Amazon. But let's look at some of the things about this place. First and foremost, it has identity and it has brand. Okay, it's a well-oiled machine, and people want to be seen not just with the celebrities and the people involved in the Amazon series, but as my wife standing there at the side of the pickup, you know, people want to be identifying with the brand and the identity. Now, there is an indoor shop, a farm shop, and everything there is produced locally, purchased locally from the UK, and lots of merchandising as well, such as t-shirts, mugs, etc. I didn't walk around it because I wasn't particularly interested in that. But where else would you go where people are queuing up in a farm shop like this? People are waiting to get in. People are sat having a drink, waiting for their loved ones and their partners, etc., to buy the merchandise and then come out with the goods that they've bought. So the whole experience of that shop was one of process. It was systemized, but it also was one that had a good purpose and a good reason behind it. That going to buy UK produce, local produce from local farmers, local butchers, etc. So it got a really good purpose behind it. In the middle there are incredible views of the Cotswolds. So a lot of people were there. It was a vast area. The car park was absolutely chock-a-block, but you can see everything here was spaced out. Everything here is about the experience of being in the Cotswolds and enjoying the beautiful views. There was canopies if you wanted to stay out of the weather, if it wasn't bad weather, if it wasn't good weather, sorry. But it was a very overall enjoyable, great experience that you would expect from one, the area, and two, from the pub in that particular area as well, and the size of the pub and the grounds of the pub. It was a great experience. Decent beer as well, decent drinks, not bad prices despite what other people might say, and I'm sure the food looked delightful as well. And you can see below me there what has become the iconic Massey Ferguson tractor hung from the rafters, refurbished by Richard Hammond, and hung there just as you come in the entrance. There's a piano below it. I sat underneath that tractor for quite some time talking to people as they were coming in, but people were going there because of the systems and the processes. Very well run, well managed, well led. The experience of being in the surroundings, but also to be seen with and to see those iconic gestures. Who would have thought about hanging a tractor up from a rafter, which is going to lead me to the lessons in just a moment. But queues at the bar, that was the biggest queue there was. Probably 10-12 people. Everything ran like clockwork, as many people hear me say. So what does that mean? What are the lessons that we should take from that? Well, I haven't watched all of the series, but what you could see there was clearly a brand and an identity. Jeremy Clarkson was putting his name to it. It was going to be a success initially. And what he did was turn the impossible into possible, the unable to get things done into able, the unsolvable thing of hanging a tractor from the rafters. How can we make this happen? He put it in the hands of people who could make things happen. And he made things that people said couldn't be done, doable and be done. The car parking, the traffic, the open area, the shop on the outside underneath the canopy. All the different things were all about the opportunity to take something and make it great. And there are lots of lessons that we can take about taking ideas, taking concepts, making them process and system driven, putting them in the hands of the creative people who can turn these undoable, impossible things into very possible, very doable things. And then it's about maintaining that experience. We've gone there nearly 9 months after the place first opened, and you still felt that you were getting that whole experience, that whole brand, that whole customer experience. Everybody that was employed there was friendly, they were polite, they went above and beyond, but they also made it feel like a special experience. So have a think about your own business in the week ahead. What can you take that's your brand? What can you make it stronger? How can you make that brand more solid, more recognizable, more something that people want to follow and be associated with? How can we keep all of that activity moving like a busy bee and making things doable, getting things done? Okay, and then how can we keep that experience, that customer service experience, that whole customer experience working like clockwork so that it delivers every single day with the team, the goods, the produce, the service, everything is working well to keep the success going. Lots of other things I've learned in the Cotswolds as well, but please, as always, like and share this video. If you want to hear more from me in a one-to-one about some of the things I took away from my experience in the Cotswolds, then just go to the link that's going across now, www.timewithsimon.com, and look out for other videos during the next probably week or 2 weeks of lessons that I've took from my time in the Cotswolds, of seeing other businesses like Jeremy's there absolutely thrive and continue to thrive, other businesses that are struggling and other businesses that perhaps could take lessons from the environment that's around them. Please like and share it, as I've said, and as always, I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.